In this tutorial, we will create a modern animated title, as you can see on your screen right now, which animates in and also animates out. So a very nice animated title. Let's create a new composition. I'm going to name it render as always. 1920 by 1080, 30 FPS. Click OK. So the first thing you need is to select the type tool or press Ctrl T as a shortcut and type the text. You're free to type anything you like. I'm going to type animated, then select it, go to Align tab and align this in the middle. Then select the text and press Ctrl D to duplicate it and bring this down. Double click on it and type something else. So I'm going to type title. Now let's properly position the text. But first let's turn on title action save to see the center point. And just place your texts in the middle so they do not overlap. Once you've placed your text accordingly, go ahead and select the rectangle tool and create a rectangle that will cover the bottom half of our composition. You can also zoom in here and using your arrow keys, bring this down until it's exactly in the middle. Then go ahead and select the shape layer 1. Let's rename this to Matte 1 to stay organized. Then select it and press Ctrl D to duplicate it and place Matte 1 above the title text layer. Now we need to set the track matte options for our text. So if you don't see this track matte window, click on this button here, or you can press F4 until you see one. Set the title track matte to alpha matte and animated track matte to alpha inverted matte. That way we no longer see our rectangles and we can proceed to animating our text. Expand the properties of our animated text layer and press on this button that says animate and select position. Then click on this button that says add, go to property and add tracking. Now we can change the position of our text. So let's drag this up and let's actually set it to 200. And also for the tracking amount, play around with it, but I'm going to set it to -100. That looks best in my opinion. So once you've set those values, let's go ahead and expand the range selector 1. Go to the start of your composition, create a keyframe for start. And move 2 seconds forward and set start to 100. Then select the keyframes, right click, go to keyframe assistant and set easy ease, or you can press F9 as a shortcut. Then navigate to the graph editor, select this point here, drag the handle all the way to the left, and for this one all the way to the right, so create this peak. Let's do a quick preview. And that gives us a very snappy and smooth animation. Now we need to add the same animation to our bottom text, so select the animator 1 and press Ctrl C to copy it. Go to the bottom text, so title, expand the properties, go to text, select the text and press Ctrl V to paste the animator here. Of course we'll need to change the position, so instead of the positive 200 we need to set position to -200 so it animates from top to bottom. One thing that's left here is to align the keyframes properly. Let's expand the range selector 1 for our bottom text. And let's expand this a bit so we can work more precisely. What I like to do is offset the keyframes by 15 frames. So from the start of your composition, go forward 15 frames and select these bottom keyframes and align them accordingly. Let's do a quick preview. And like that, we get a more synchronized animation that they follow each other in a way. Now let's spice this up by adding more animation. Right click, new, null object. Select every single layer and parent them to the null object. By dragging the pick whip, dropping it onto the null object. Now select your text layers and press U to reveal the keyframes, and again to work more precisely, select your null object and press S to reveal the scale properties. And again, what I think looks the best is to count 15 frames from the last keyframe of the top text. So count 15 frames back, create a keyframe for a scale of a null object, set the scale to 105. Then from here move 2 seconds forward and set scale to 95. Now of course select the keyframes, press F9 as a shortcut to ease the keyframes, go to the graph editor and create the peak in the middle by dragging the handles to the middle. Let's quickly preview what we have. And as you can see, that extra animation at the end makes our title even more interesting. But we're not done yet. Right click, new adjustment layer, place this adjustment layer below the null object so it affects all the layers except the null. Then go to Effect and Presets window and search for Transform. It'll be under Distort. So grab this and add it to the adjustment layer. Then go to Effect Controls and set Skew Amount to -8. So that way our text looks even more interesting. It's skewed and looks really cool in my opinion, really modern. Of course, you are able to change the color of the text and even the font by selecting the layer, go into a character window, and here you're free to choose any color that you like. It's just that easy to change the color of your text or give it a different font if you like. So we've covered animating our title in. Now let's proceed to animating our title out. So select all the layers, right click, pre-compose. Give it a name and make sure that Move All Attributes is selected. Click OK. Now select the layer, it's a title layer for me. Right click, go to Time, enable time remapping. Click on that. Now you need to find the frame where the animation finishes, let's say at 4 seconds, so move to 4 seconds and create a keyframe. From here you can choose for how long your title stays visible in this way. Once you've determined that, say go 2 seconds forward, copy the keyframe that we've created 4 seconds and paste it here. That'll be acting as a hold keyframe. And from here, move to the end of your composition and set the time to 0. And then zoom in here and just remove the last keyframe. We don't need that. Select it, press delete. Let's now preview how our title animates out. So that's animating in, and here it animates out the same way. Really cool in my opinion. And at this point we've covered the animation part of our title. And say you want to change the title, so all you have to do is go inside the composition, select the text layer, double click on it, and type something else. So I'm going to type modern, and for the bottom text, select it, double click, and I'm going to type animation, and let's preview. It's just that easy to change the text and preview it in real time. Really, really cool. That's it for our animated title tutorial. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Have a good day.